Welcome to the first in a series for the Listening Lounge where we focus on individual artists, and I'm delighted to be joined by Richard Harris.
Hello.
Although Richard Harris will also go by many other names as well, as we'll find out in the podcast. Could you mention a few of those?
As we go along, Patient 69, The Bandit,
White Frog.
Also White Frog, as to give a band name.
I think White Frog might have been my first introduction to your music, as that might have been some of the first stuff you ever played at Listening Lounge when it actually first began at Tilt. Because you're kind of one of the old boys, really.
Yeah, those good old days at Tilt, I remember them very well.
But now we're sat in our regular venue, which is the Rock and Roll Brew House. They've kindly let us use it midweek. Shut upstairs, except for us, while they're downstairs brewing their delicious beer.
Which we can smell, actually. It smells great. It smells gorgeous. You want to come down here and try out some of the beer if you haven't already. It's a great place.
It is, yeah. It's a fantastic venue. So first off, we're going to kick off with a track called Freaky.
I don't know if I can hold myself, no. She's so sexy, I just want to approach. Giving me the eye and the smile to fit. Looking like that, yeah, you're gonna get it. I walked over as if to say hi. Excuse me, miss, I wanna die. This looks to kill, goddamn, you on the fill of an arrow ready straight to the heart. She was freaky, she don't know when to stop. She said she's gonna teach me, but I don't know why. Lions and tigers I have tamed, but never have I tamed a dame. To use the word freak would be putting it light. Oh, what a hell of a night, right? Danced all night, we kissed and hugged. She went for my neck, in her teeth sunk. I'm feeling a fever, I looked into her eyes. She said, now you're no longer one of a kind. I don't have a clue how we got back home, but that was the best night I have ever known. She's doing some things that I never saw before, and look in the mirror, what for? She was freaky, she don't know when to stop. She said she's gonna teach me, but I don't know why. Lions and tigers I have tamed, but never have I tamed a dame. To use the word freak would be putting it light. But what a hell of a night, right? Everybody do the freak sheet. Everybody do the freak. Everybody do the freak sheet. Everybody do the freak. She was freaky, she don't know when to stop. She said she's gonna teach me, but I don't know why. Lions and tigers I have tamed, but never have I tamed a dame. The word freak would be putting it light. Oh, what a hell of a night, right?
That was Freaky. It was the start, if you like, of White Frog. It was the brainchild of White Frog. I wrote that song probably 2013 maybe. I mean, this whole album didn't come out till 2018, but it was a collection of different tracks. All the tracks basically that I'd made in the past 11 years, I finally decided to record them all properly and put them on an album. And they were very different. There was one track, you'd have rap and then grime, and then there'd be horrorcore, Patient 69 track, and then there'd be rock, there'd be punk, which was that one.
Yeah, because I think anyone listening who might hear that first song and think, oh, right, okay, this guy makes, like, punk music. I've got no idea of that.
Yeah. I mean, for those who think my more recent albums are very different track by track, this album is extremely different, totally different genres. So from then on, I decided to write the next stuff and put it into sort of 4 different albums. So there was a big wait of sort of, was it 2023 till the next release after that, which was The Bandit Button Moon 2. Which was basically the rap stuff that I write.
Oh, maybe we could play a track from that. Might be a good one to go to next.
Yeah, sure. That came next as hip hop, and the track I chose for this is City of Trades, which is a song about Birmingham.
We
love Birmingham. I mean, as a lot of my more recent songs, I start off keeping you guessing what it's about. It sounds like I'm talking about a partner, lover, and then it's not until the last verse it unwinds and you see how he's talking about the city, he loves the city. But in this particular song, actually, it's about both. Me and my partner, we like spending time in Birmingham, and it's City of Trades. I call it Big Brum. It's a play on the song New York, City of Trades by the Dog Pound.
Right,
some people might know from the late 90s.
I don't know the Dog Pound. I thought you were going to say, this is New York.
It went New York, City. What is it now? City of Dreams or something like that. But every day in New York ain't always what it seems.
Oh, I know that track. Yeah. I think Grandmaster Flash might have actually had a little bit
the original,
to do with that.
maybe.
Yeah.
So that I haven't heard that version, but I remember the Dog Pound version from the mid-late 90s. Yeah. And it was that made me think Big Brum, City of Trades.
Great, yeah. So we're going to take a bit of a handbrake turn genre-wise now, aren't we? Okay, brilliant. This is The Bandit.
Yeah, Bandit Button Moon 2 album wise, and this track's called City of Trades.
Great, let's give it a whirl.
You and I don't even have to fuss or fight, 'cause me and you will be true till the end. Yeah. And when we shine, we sparkle like the city lights, and we'll stay happy until the end of time. I know it's cold out, but when I've got you close, it really doesn't matter, all I got is hope. In a cold world, it's hard to see the light. And I'm glad I got you by my side. You never flipped me off, you never made me mad. Together in the big city, it makes me glad. Feeling complete, high on city lights. It might be a tough place, but with you it's right. Big Brum, City of Trades, but every day in Big Brum ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town, but I'm a yam and it's how we get down. The big city ain't scary no more. Well, depending what ends you explore. Big Brum, City of Trades, Black Country, City of Chains. I don't think there's ever been a rivalry like Peaky Blinders, extended family, more like. And I don't take it lightly, because there's only one place that does it nicely. Big Brum, City of Trades, but every day in Big Brum ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town, but I'm a yam and it's how we get down. I remember when we first met, it couldn't be more perfect. I love the city, but I love you first. And when we're in the city, you know that it works. Can't find a better combination. Side to side in any confrontation. Any chance to be there, I won't keep you waiting. Drop of a hat, no hesitating. Yeah. Big Brum, City of Trades, but every day in Big Brum ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town, but I'm a yam and it's how we get down. Although they're hating on us, don't like to see us having fun, 'cause their social is all about being unsocial. And of course they get emotional and then become dumb. I don't hate back though, so don't start. We cannot thrive with hate in our hearts. The days are drawing in, nights are getting colder.
And I'm glad I've got you on my shoulders. Big Brum, city of trades, but every day in Big Brum ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town, but I'm a yum and it's how we get down. Big Brum, city of trades, but every day in Big Brum ain't always what it seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town, but I'm a yum and it's how we get down. You and I don't even have to fuss or fight, 'cause me and you will be true till the end. And when we shine, we sparkle like the city lights, and we'll stay happy until the end of time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Big Brum, City of Trades.
I like the sentiment in that song.
Yeah.
I like when you say, like, you know, you don't think that there's a rivalry between Birmingham and Black Country. And I sort of, I hope that's true. I think you're right. I don't think you sense it as much as there might be between other cities like Liverpool and Manchester, potentially. Although maybe I'm bad-mouthing them, and I don't really actually know if there is, but...
Yeah, you might get fooled if you come from out of town, but I'm a yam and it's how we get down. We're used to being out of town a little bit.
Yeah, because you actually...
We don't explore much.
You're from... You live in Tipton. Are you from there originally, or...?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because we were trying to organise doing this podcast, it was a bit of a, oh, God, how do we meet up together? Do you come all the way over from Tipton to where I am in Acots Green, which is like the other side of the Midlands, or vice versa? So it was great that the Brewhouse let us record here in the Jewellery Quarter. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. Great location.
Really love that track. Perfect example of like the sort of eclecticism we were talking about before. You know, your tracks are very varied, and I think this is really interesting. And something that I find very strange that there aren't more artists. It seems like everyone sort of a lot of artists are in their channel. You know, they're like if they're a punk group or a hip hop group or a this, that, and the other. And I find that very peculiar in the 21st century because I think like you're like a kind of millennial like me. I guess you sort of.
Generation X, I think.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
80 I was born, so...
80?
I'm just on the cusp
okay.
there of millennial and
I thought
Gen
you
X.
were younger than me. But you look younger than me.
Thanks.
But we sort of like... A lot of stuff we came of age with, like things like with the internet and Napster and things like that, you know, like our tastes were just so broad compared to previous generations, which had more of that tribalism thing going on. I always sort of find it peculiar that you don't see that more in artists.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, yeah. I mean, I must admit, life would be a lot easier if I could stay in one lane, but that's not me.
Yeah, and in a weird way, it's the sort of thing that makes you almost less commercially viable, but to me, artistically more adventurous and creatively improved, I think.
Yeah, with the first album, Different Strokes, from 2018, I mean, I was hoping to choose a direction out of all of those different genres. But I ended up going with all directions.
Yeah.
But instead separating them into different projects, different albums.
But then I think I would, you know, I'd prefer to have an environment where that is celebrated and not seen as a fault, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be many people who like everything I do because it's so different.
Yeah.
So. Please don't be put off by the first track.
And then you might like the second one. You
Or
might
the
like
second.
the next one. Yeah.
Can keep listening. Continue to listen.
It
And I love
definitely
the
works
also
for
to say about that track. It's got a nice jazzy sound, which I like the jazzy sound of hip hop, especially New York early '90s hip hop. So I try to incorporate that. As well into this Birmingham song because I think it complements Birmingham. I'd like to see the jazz scene grow a bit more in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also a bit of a sort of R&B.
And then into something totally different. Meanwhile, whilst I was working on that album, I was also working on White Frog, the album, which was an extension of Freaky, which you heard the first song from Different Strokes with me, Liam, and Ad. Quarter of the way through the album, Liam left the band, so I finished the rest off myself. He's since returned to the band, by the way, and we will be working on a new album this year. We've got one song.
A new White
already.
Frog album.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
But this next song is White Frog, LGBT. It's a bit controversial. I mean, not to me, but
Yeah.
some people who heard it. I mean, for instance, certain artists who've said they won't perform this live with me
Right,
because of the
okay.
content.
Yeah.
In my defence, I'm just telling stories about things that I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if it's right, wrong, good or bad. I'm just telling the stories.
Yeah.
So I can't see how that could be offensive to that community. If it is, then they need to take that up with the people who these stories are about.
Right. Okay. I see. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm being non-judgmental in this, but bear in mind it is a punk album. I know
Yeah.
it's quite loose. It's been also compared to glam rock, which is not what I was going for. But okay,
Nothing wrong with a bit of glam rock, especially from the Midlands.
Oh, that's okay. I'm comfortable with that.
It's the one genre we excel in. Is sort of specifically glam rock Christmas songs. Birmingham seems to have cornered the market on that.
Yeah. But I love this song. It's a bit tongue in cheek, like everything on this album.
Yeah.
It's a bit cheeky, a bit fun, and it's called. I absolutely love the bass line as well on this. It makes the melody. It's called LGBT.
Great. Let's give it a spin.
What? I met her in a comedy workshop. She said her name was Frederick. Introduced to me as a he, but he looked like a she to me. Do you like stand up? It's not part of the exercise. Neither is a loaded question, and I don't mind if you vaporize. She was an LGBT kind of girl. He was an LGBT kind of guy. He was an LGBT kind of girl. He was an LGBT kind of guy. She said, have you met my partner? We have never been introduced. Is she a he as well? 'Cause she is definitely a she. She is definitely a she. And so is he. Let's move on. She was an LGBT kind of girl. He was an LGBT kind of guy. He was an LGBT kind of girl. He was an LGBT kind of guy. I met a girl in the Gentleman's. I like your pink curly hair. Is the women's out of order, or is there a queue out there? Thought she would go to the cubicle. She lifted up a dress to use a urinal. She was an LGBT kind of girl. He was an LGBT kind of guy. He was an LGBT kind of girl. He was an LGBT kind of guy. I met a guy in the bar. He was typically gay, but nothing's typical these days. Trying to be down with the kids is exhausting with all the new trends they bring. They say, why can't we be accepted? They say, why can't you just accept it? They say, why can't we be accepted? And they say, why? You're just pathetic. And we say, okay. She was an LGBT kind of girl. He was an LGBT kind of guy. He was an LGBT kind of girl. He was an LGBT kind of guy.
Okay, so a song about LGBT. My personal take on it is that it's a slice of modern life, and there's, Lola by the Kinks. It was just pointing out this kind of new, the novelty of the things in the modern world. I don't think there's anything. It didn't sound like it was judgmental. It was just about. Things that are kind of unusual to you and to me, really. As a sort of guy in his 40s.
We're growing up in a modern world, and everybody's like treading on eggshells. Are scared of they don't know what to say, or when they do say something, it's offensive.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm just making an observation. Well, not so much an observation. They were true stories, like I say.
Yeah.
I did manage to persuade Liam to perform that live with me, so we have performed it live to a mixed audience. It did go down very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say it's another. I think this is a strong theme that's going to be running throughout this show. Is just like how catchy a lot of the hooks you have are. Like they are real earworms. They reverberate in your head.
Yeah, it's deliberate. That is. I always try and go for that.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. So we're going to play next up. We're thinking we might play Boudica.
Yes, the next album is completely different again. It was 6 months after. I wanted it to be a summer release. It ended up being put back a bit further. Ended up coming out in September and was closely followed by the album after it, which was an October Halloween release, Halloween themed horrorcore. But the next one is more of a country theme. It's country / redneck cigar box.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, I was trying to stay in lane. There's a lot of cigar box music on it.
I love the cigar box sound. I think you've really used that brilliantly in this album. Yeah.
And Boudica's a song about a car, actually. It's about a partner's car that keeps breaking down and causing us grief.
Okay. So is Boudica the name of the pet name for the car?
Yes.
Right, okay, because I was trying to work out. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so this is Boudica from the album Till the Cows Come Home.
From the midst of the cobwebs, need I say more? You were an expensive lady, and you almost drive me crazy. Took a chance on that, brought her home that night. We may have had our disagreements, looks like we're in it for life. It ain't an understatement when I say all you bring is trouble. And I know that you're a true 4x4. But whenever have you ever got us anywhere in one piece? And whenever have we needed you in the snow? Boudica. We've been to town, not just one town, and it may have been a bumpy ride. We're ready for now. We may have some years left, before we let you go. We never gave up on you yet, and we don't plan to anytime soon. Yeah, it ain't an understatement when I say all you bring is trouble. And I know that you're a true 4x4. Whenever have you ever got us anywhere in one piece? And whenever have we needed you in the snow? Boudica. Warning lights on the dash, so we took you in. As soon as we get there, they go off again. Bits drop off when you Go anywhere that's rough terrain. The clock didn't come as standard, but you've got an ashtray. It ain't an understatement when I say all you bring is trouble. And I know that you're a true 4x4. But whenever have you ever got us anywhere in one piece? And whenever have we needed you in the snow? Burica.
Cool. Sort of a gothic Americana. I think it brings a bit of a hillbilly, deep south, but slightly almost horror movie vibe in a way.
Yeah, it's where it's derived from. I was working on the Patient 69 album at that time in between tracks, you see, so then I'll go from that into Patient 69.
Yeah.
Which everybody seems to love that 69 stuff.
Have you got that kind of brain then? Because I think I've got this kind of brain where, like, I work best more creatively when I've got lots of different plates spinning.
Yes, they say a break is a change is as good as a break. So if you need a break sometimes and you've got a lot to do, the best thing to do is leave that for a minute, do one of the other jobs you've got, and then often when you come back to it, you can pick it back up again, you can finish it off.
Yeah, because I think people get that mistake about creativity. They think that almost like there's a kind of finite resource, and if you want to make the best of it, you've got to apply it in one direction. But to me, it's not like that. It's like a feedback loop. You know, if you're creative in one area, it feeds into every other. It's like it multiplies more.
Yeah. Spinning plates can be exhausting, but if you can do it in the moment and ride that wave, it can be fun.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think it's really interesting. Like a lot of my, I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, but Bob Dylan's kind of done Bob Dylan for forever, really. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world, but he's made, and maybe that was meant more sense in previous generations. But like I was saying about this kind of what I feel is like an eclecticism that's kind of lacking a lot of the time.
I think C6 Steve was the artist that I first seen play the cigar box guitar. He plays many instruments. He's not just restricted to that. He'll play a 6-string with 3 strings on it. I've seen him play a bit of tat that he's turned into an instrument.
Yeah, I love that. I love that kind of stuff.
And the diddley bow.
Yeah.
Diddley bow's a 1-string.
Is it bass?
So it's bass, really. Yeah. But I've got one of those as well.
I thought the 6-string guitar, the cigar box guitar. I think of my friend Andy Miles from Grand Release. And he has one. He's a great musician. Would be good to do a podcast like this about Grand Release. But he had a cigar box guitar. They're fun little things, I think.
Yeah, they're great.
Do you think that there's something to the idea of? Because obviously most cigar box guitars are like 4-string, aren't they?
I'd say most are 3, but
right,
there is 4.
Right,
there
okay.
is 4-string ones.
Because I found I think there's something to sometimes having these forced kind of restrictions that kind of actually make you.
It's a fun
creative.
instrument, the cigar box. You can just pick it up and before you know it, you're playing some bluesy sound. I'd like to mention about Box Stock as well. I played at Box Stock last year. It's a cigar box festival. I played in the open mic, and it's cigar box enthusiasts, but anybody's welcome, of course. It's run by Chicken Bone John, who's a cigar box artist in his own rights. There's a lot of artists there. The Dust Brothers were there, big cigar box duo from Bristol, and many others. Also, John was playing himself. There were stalls where they're selling these cigar boxes and the stomp boxes.
Yeah, I have to get
and other
down
bits.
there. I like that kind of stuff. Yeah,
It's really cool. Lots of blokes who made them in the back, in the sheds, in the gardens,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the garages, and also some really high spec cigar box guitars. There was one I bought there for £200. Really
Ooh,
nice. It's got
yeah.
the tone dials on,
Yeah.
the volumes and all
Okay,
that,
yeah.
nice pickups and all that.
Do they not normally have that? It's flashes in this.
They don't
cigar
have
box
to
as well.
have it. I mean, it's all about being rustic with that
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing. Just
Yeah.
finding a bit of whatever's lying around and,
Yeah.
and turn it into an instrument.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have a nice guitar to
Mm.
a nice spec as well.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. Yeah.
So that was in Birmingham last year in the
Mm.
Jewellery Quarter. It's going to be happening this year as well, 2025. October, I've been told.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make my way down there, definitely for sure. Yeah, I do have a
Definitely.
banjo, which
Right.
just a 4-string banjo, and I
That would
think
be
there
allowed.
was. It's in the same ballpark, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, and I did write a lot of songs on it because there was something about like you can get a bit, I don't know, you can get a bit jaded or apathetic when you play the same guitar, and and something about like picking up an instrument that's kind of similar to what you're used to, but everything's kind of slightly in the wrong place. So you've got to like work out how to play even a simple chord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play it with a slide. So
Ah,
these
wicked,
are
yeah.
ceramic slide.
Mm.
Some prefer glass or steel. There's a whole stall for slides there as well. There's
course
a
there
guy
is,
who's
yeah.
really good. And he's got all the different slides. You could try them on different sizes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I bought 2 slides from there last time, and they were both great.
Yeah.
So you're just going up and down the fretboard, just playing chords like that. And
There's
that's
a bit
what
of
I
slide on that last song, wasn't there?
Yeah. Slide
Again,
sounds good in the cigar box.
another riff that's forever stuck in my head. Yeah, great earworms, these tracks. So we come to the final track, actually. This is Brainwashed off the Patient 69 album.
Yeah, from the Patient 69 album, Blood is Thicker Than Water. He was a character I made in the mid-90s, about 95, and I decided to bring him back. Horrorcore it is. If you're not familiar with horrorcore, it's more popular in America. It's just basically horror-themed rap.
Can you give us some examples of artists? 'Cause-
Okay. So, I mean, when I there weren't many in 95 when I come up with this that I could name. There was probably the Gravediggers.
Oh, yes.
We hadn't
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Gravediggers then. When we first come up with that, it was totally original. There's a lot now. There's a lot of people.
Well,
doing it.
to me, it's a bit like Cool Keith, Dr. Octagon kind of stuff. That's what I think of as horrorcore in a way. But,
Killers Don't Talk is a more recent one. People do horrorcore in different ways. A lot of Americans choose to talk about guns and shooting people up. To me, that's gangster rap. It shouldn't be called horrorcore. Horrorcore should be purely about horror, and that's how I do it. Totally made up, fictional, of course. I didn't used to be a doctor.
well, you say so. But,
And I'm not a psychopath, and I wasn't a doctor before I was a psychopath. But in this story, I tell it as if to people who inspired me, sort of, to rap in that way. Hammer Horror, Vince Price.
nice.
You're
Yeah.
familiar with the rapping Thriller, of course.
Yeah.
That is what inspired Patient 69, not the
Okay.
horrorcore that's
Yeah,
come
yeah.
after it.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that is what I think horrorcore should be.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's hear your manifesto of horrorcore then. And so this is the final track. We're going to play this out the podcast. So it's been fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard, for sharing your music.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Brainwashed.
Brainwashed!
Fortune under the knee.
I don't think he felt anything after the crash.
We need a doctor. Look at his face.
Brainwashed. You wanna get brainwashed? You wanna get brainwashed? Do you wanna get brainwashed? Yep, you do. Back in the day, I worked in a lab. Way before I was a psychopath. Operated on brains and such. Mutilated my social touch. But I got on with it. Problems arise, stick to the script. Grey matter is interesting. Whether it's healthy or infested, I ingested the information, applied it to my documentation. Healthy mind, healthy body. I chose to experiment properly. Transplants were an unheard practice, so I used my time to crack this. No donors, so I had to find some. Walk the streets with an axe and lantern. Brainwashed! Do you wanna get brainwashed? You wanna get brainwashed? Do you wanna get brainwashed? Yep, you do. When I got two candidates worthy of my advocate, I strapped them up side to side and explained what I had in mind. Of course they were negative, so I used the sedative and proceeded the alliance. It was all in the name of science. The blood supply was plenty, and with a small incision we were ready. The grey matter was slippy, fell on the floor. Dog ran off with it quickly, but I got it back with food. Cleaned it up, it was a little bit chewed. In it went, one in, one out. The other one I froze for now. Brainwashed! You wanna get brainwashed? Do you wanna get brainwashed? You wanna get brainwashed? Yep, you do. When the operation was over, he answered to the name of Rover and barked like a dog, yes. A few glitches, but all in all a success. Let it loose on the world, see what it does. Give it drugs for a buzz and let it do what it does best. Experience is not complete without a test. Some died as a consequence, can never quite get right the sense. I blame the subject matter, stupid people in society for the latter. Maybe next time it'll work. Never give up on what drives you to berserk. It's all about achieving goals. Back in the lab, ready for the next soul. Brainwashed! You wanna get brainwashed? Do you wanna get brainwashed? You wanna get brainwashed? Yep, you do.
Thank you.